Okay, I'm making turtles, and in the top of a double boiler I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of milk. I actually, when I have half and half, I use half and half, and I happen to have some today, so that's what I've got in there. And a 14-ounce bag of caramels, unwrapped. And we're gonna melt this over the top of the double boiler until it's all nice and creamy, and then we'll add 2 cups of pecans, and we'll drop it onto some wax paper, and then we'll cover them. You'll want to stir this a little bit as it melts. It takes a little while. It's been about 15 minutes. It's almost there. You want to keep the water in the bottom pot just simmering. You don't want to have it too boiling. Now it's perfectly smooth and melted. This is what you want. And we're going to add 2 cups of chopped pecans. And just stir them in. And then you just want to take a tablespoon and drop these onto wax paper. You don't have to shape them. We'll shape them in as they cool, and you can make them any size you want. Just be careful, the caramel's hot. And then we'll let these set up. It'll take probably a good half hour or so for them to be cool enough to work with. You can refrigerate them for a few minutes if you want. You want them still pliable so you can shape them. You just want them so they don't burn. So we've peeled the caramels off the wax paper. For some reason they stuck terribly this year. I've never had that happen. So I guess next time I would spray the paper. But what you wind up with is whatever you dropped here in various sizes. And I just take and I shape them. That's why you want these still pliable but not so hot that you burn yourself. Just shape them into a flat patty. And what we'll do is I'll pop these in the freezer and get them really cold. And then I've got my chocolate getting ready to melt here, and we'll dip them. And what I've got in there is just some dipping chocolate, actually. You can use chocolate chips if you want, but Walmart carries the blocks of melting chocolate, so I tend to use that. You may need to thin it with a little bit of shortening if it's too thick to dip. I had to add a little bit of shortening to thin this out. This is about the consistency you want. You want it thin enough that it'll be able to dip, but thick enough so that it doesn't all run off. Always use shortening to thin your chocolate. Otherwise you won't get a proper hardening consistency if you try to use oil or butter. Never use water. Water will make your chocolate seize up and you're done. I just throw them in there. They've been in the freezer about 20 minutes. You don't need them solid, you just want them cold enough so that they're easier to dip. And I just throw them in there. I use a fork. Just make sure they're well covered. And then you just set these aside. You can refrigerate them if you want to harden them a little quicker, but they usually harden up within about 15-20 minutes at room temperature. And then you're good to go. You can keep these at room temp if you want. We usually tend to keep them in the fridge unless we're eating them right up. They'll keep for quite a length of time. Make great gifts. And there they are. They're all dipped. And as you can see from these ones up here at this end, they're starting to set up pretty good already. Doesn't take long, just set them aside till they're hard enough. And any leftover chocolate, don't throw it away. What I do is I line a small bowl with some aluminum foil, pour the chocolate in, let it harden, wrap it up in the foil and throw it in the freezer, and it's ready to reuse for the next time. Just melt it up. It keeps beautifully. Here they are, all cooled and set up. You'll see they're nice and gooey inside.
Oh yeah. Munchy.
Just the way a turtle should be.